Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. This isn't going to be a full-blown AEW review, but I did watch the show and I did see what happened. I did see Chris Statlander reject the Death Riders, and so she's not going to be joining them and all that other stuff. So I have been keeping up and watched what happened, but I'm going to be talking about the big major announcement they revealed today. And that was the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championships. Now, I'm not surprised they called them World because they call their AEW Women's Championship, Women's World Championship. So finally, after many months of them teasing these belts were coming, they finally revealed them. Tony Khan. And look at that. Tony Khan wasn't even in the ring. Tony Khan didn't go out there. He wasn't in the ring. He was backstage with a mic in hand to reveal these championships. And he had Renee Young. Reveal those titles. If this was WWE, it would be Triple H in the ring telling us, "Are you ready?" And then he would tell us that he would reveal this new championship. And then he would unveil it to the world, and then he would, and all that stuff. Like what he did when he unveiled the World Heavyweight Championship. And just like the same thing he did when he got rid of the Raw and SmackDown Tag Team titles and revealed the World Tag Team and Tag Team titles to Awesome Truth and A-Town Down Under. So, yeah, he was just in the ring. He was in the ring. He had to be the guy to reveal them and all that. Like, it just couldn't have to be Adam Pearce. It didn't have to be Adam Pearce or Nick Aldis, the GMs. He had to be the guy in the ring to make the announcement to reveal those titles. See, Tony Khan didn't make it about him. And I know people like to give Tony Khan crap, but I think people should give him credit here. He didn't make it about himself. Yes, he made the announcement of the titles, but he allowed Renee Young to reveal the championship titles. He didn't come out and be all like, "Alright guys, I'm going to reveal you all the Women's World Tag Team titles," and all that stuff. He let Renee Young do it, and I think that's great. So, he let Renee Young reveal the titles, and you could see the female referee in the background. She's like you can kind of tell she's trying not to get emotional about it in the background. And AEW have got themselves some pretty good teams at the moment. They've got Anna Jay, Ty Mello. I think Toni Storm would probably join the division with either Mina Shirakawa or Alex Windsor, because I know she tagged with both of them. You got Penelope Ford and Megan Bayne. You got Julia Hart and Sky Blue and all that. And they've been making a lot of teams. Harley Cameron was forming a team with somebody. She was forming a team, I think it was Chris Statlander, but Chris Statlander is the world champion, so I kind of doubt they'll do that. But yeah, maybe Athena and Billy Starks could join in on that as well. I mean, Athena is the Ring of Honor World Champion, Women's World Champion, but, they could still do it. But, of course, I know the one person that everyone hopes doesn't enter this, and obviously she's not going to enter it, and that's Mercedes. Obviously, she's not going to be entering a title division for the tag team titles. But yeah, this is going to be awesome. I think this is going to be great. This is AEW's chance to really stick it to WWE of how they handle the women's tag team titles. I know WWE's booking of those titles have really been atrocious over the years. WWE have had these belts since 2018, by the way. Or 2019. 2018, 2019. Yeah, one of those 2 years. Yeah, it was 2019. They've had these women's tag team titles since 2019. And the only thing I remember, the only highlight of those tag team titles were Bayley and Sasha Banks during the Golden Role Model era. I barely remember anything else with those tag team titles. I barely do. I barely remember anything outside of the Golden Role Models era with Sasha Banks and Bayley. Like, you can barely find any kind of moment that makes you go, oh yeah, this was the best time for the women's tag team titles and all that. Like, WWE have barely done anything to really make those titles seem like a big deal. I mean, hell, on 3 occasions, WWE have had a partner get injured. A partner's been injured, and instead of vacating them, they just replace them. They just replace someone with their partner. Like, for example, when Sonya Deville got injured and Chelsea Green won the tag titles with Sonya. Sonya got injured, and instead of just vacating the belts, they just made Piper Niven her partner, and then she was the tag team champion with Chelsea. Same thing with Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. When Jade Cargill got attacked, instead of vacating the belts, they just had Naomi step in and become Bianca's tag team partner. And recently with Liv Morgan, she got injured, and they just had Roxanne Perez step in as her tag team partner. They do that so often. WWE have done that so often with those titles. Like, they just did not want to vacate them. They just, like, it's like they're allergic to vacating. It's like the only time they're legitimately forced to vacate a title is what happened with Naomi when she got pregnant. Yeah, to me, they're flat out allergic to vacating titles if someone was injured. Oh, if someone was injured, they'd be like, oh, shake it off for a couple of months. You'll be back on TV or whatever. Oh, it's not all that serious. They can still appear on TV and whatnot. But yeah, WWE are like allergic to vacating titles unless they have to because someone gets pregnant. But again, like the WWE ID Women's Championship, that ID title thing that they're doing now, that got vacated because Kylie Ray is pregnant. Again, that's the only way they will ever vacate a title. That's the only way they will ever vacate something. So, yeah, but yeah. So, but yeah, like I said, I think AEW really have a chance here to really show WWE this is how you book a tag division. Now, AEW obviously, have, I wouldn't say an advantage, but because they don't have a brand split, or a brand split, yeah, that's the right word. Because they don't have a brand split, they can just have all their teams just wrestle on all 3 shows. They can just have them 2 shows. They don't have 3 shows anymore. Like, they can just have them wrestle on, like, Dynamite and Collision all the time. So, it's not even though that the women's tag team titles in WWE float between 2 different brands, but also they can float on NXT. They can also float on NXT as well. But that's the point. Like, you have all these teams, and then WWE then just release half of them. Like, they had Candice and Indy. Bye-bye Indy. They had Chemical X. Bye-bye Shotzi and Gigi Dolan. They had the Metaphor. Bye-bye Jakara Jackson. And Lash Legend is left on her own. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, they had Roxanne and Cora Jade. Oh, well, bye-bye Cora Jade. And all that. Like, that's what I mean. Like, WWE had potential to make so many teams for their division, but instead they just went ahead and cut a lot of people that could have benefited a lot in that tag division. Same thing with Dakota Kai and Tegan Nox. Like, they could have always just reunited them, but nope, they never did. But the point I am making is that AEW have the best chance ever to really show this is how you book a tag division. And speaking of that, I'd kind of like the idea of Dakota Kai and Tegan Nox maybe appearing on AEW to kind of compete for these titles. I kind of like that idea, actually. Like, that would be pretty darn cool. I think that would be pretty cool if they went along with that. But yeah, the tag team title reveal was pretty awesome. I think it was not, I think the belts look exactly the same as their men's. I think, or are they a different design? Like they kind of look similar, except like like usually whenever WWE create a women's title, they always put a white strap. They always do the white strap. They're like, oh, here's the difference between men and women's. They're the same designs, but the straps are white. Or for the women's North American title, we'll make the little circle, the little globe in the middle, we'll turn that red. Make small amount of changes. Like that's all WWE do with their women's titles to make fans tell the difference. Like they just put a white strap. Tony Khan doesn't do that. He doesn't do that with the women's titles. He has them all with black straps. They all have black straps. The TBS title has it. The women's world title has it, and so do these tag team titles. Like he doesn't. And obviously he gives them different designs, obviously. And also he gives them different designs. He doesn't try to make them look exactly the same, like what WWE do. So either I think the women's tag team titles look identical to the main tag titles they have, or they're slightly different. I might have to look at a photo and compare them, if they look the same or not, but I'm kind of thinking that he wouldn't do that. I'm kind of thinking he wouldn't do that because then that would just confuse the audience. But especially if it's not with a white strap. But yeah, AEW doesn't put white straps on their women's belts and all that. So yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it. Like there's definitely some team, like if I had to choose a team to be the first champions, I would love it to be Anna Jay and Ty Mello. I like it to be Anna Jay and Ty Mello. They've been there for ages. And I think that would be a good reward for Anna and Ty, because they've been there since the beginning of AEW. Well, I know Anna has. Ty kind of maybe debuted a year later during the pandemic, but you get my point. Like they've been together from the beginning, and I think they deserve it. I think they deserve that opportunity to be the tag team champions. I think they deserve that. Like Julia Hart and Sky Blue are also another option. Like I said, they've been around for a while. And all that. Like they would be a good option and all that. So yeah, there's definitely options. They've definitely got some options, and they've definitely got some options. But I would definitely, if it was up to me, I would absolutely go with Anna Jay and Ty Mello. But I could honestly see them having Toni Storm enter this division, maybe with Mina Shirakawa or Alex Windsor as her partner, somebody as her partner. But like somebody as her partner maybe. But again, it's all just my personal guesses and all that, like, and all that. So that's just all my personal guesses on it. So yeah, I'm really excited for this. I'm actually quite excited for these tag team belts for AEW. They're finally bringing in the women's tag team titles. Hopefully Tony Khan can get enough teams in his division to really make these titles feel important and really show WWE how to make a tag division seem worth it. And I know a lot of people are gonna probably come into my comments, or people are gonna tell me, Patrick, AEW have way too many titles. Look at all the titles they have. Yet, so do WWE. They kept the speed titles around. Instead of just retiring them and throwing them in the garbage, they just decide to move them to NXT. Like, if you're going to tell me AEW has too many titles and you don't say the same thing about WWE, then that's clearly biased. WWE have loads of titles. They have, like, obviously they've got the two main titles. They've obviously got the main titles, which are fine. The main world titles, the US, IC, the tags, the women's main, and then you've got the women's tags, then the women's tag belts, then you've got the mid-card women, then you've got the women's US and IC belts, which, you know, they have been doing absolutely nothing with with the US title. And then you've got the NXT titles. Then you've got all the NXT belts from the men's to the North American to the tag teams. And then you got the women's title, then the women's North American. They did have the women's tag titles in NXT, but they retired them, which I thought was stupid. And do not get me started on that Heritage Cup nonsense. They've got that Heritage Cup garbage. Like, they've got a cup, for crying out loud. They've got a cup that actually counts as an actual belt. And as I said, they've now got the speed titles in NXT. So, in my opinion, it's all fair. WWE have so many titles, AEW can have so many titles. It can't be one way or the other. It can't be one company has too many titles, they need to get rid of them, but the other company can create more belts. I'm even going to take things one step further. I'm going to take this argument to one step further. They created 2 belts on Evolve and 2 belts for WWE ID. So, who has too many titles now? So, who really has too many titles? I think it's WWE, if I'm being honest. Sure, we don't see the WWE ID titles. And yes, we do see the Evolve titles if you watch Evolve. But yeah, so if you really want to argue that AEW has too many damn titles, well then, I'm going to friggin' tell you how many damn titles WWE have, and I can guarantee you that's probably more, they probably have more than what AEW have. So, in my opinion, it's all fair. You can't be biased. You can't say one company has too many titles, but then it's perfectly fine for another company to have so many titles. Oh, they've got a large roster. Of course they're going to make more belts so then everybody gets an opportunity. Well, then AEW can do the same thing. Then AEW can do the same thing. Then AEW can fairly do the same thing. Anyway, I'm done. This was going to be a bit of a shorter video, but of course, usually I ramble and rant about you. I always go on and ramble. But yeah, that's gonna be a wrap of this video, guys. You guys let me know what you guys think of the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championships. What do you guys think? Do you think they're just gonna be just like WWE's women's tag team titles and barely ever featured and rarely capitalized on? Or do you think Tony Khan can actually succeed and make them more important than WWE's? Or do you think that these titles shouldn't exist at all? And do you like the title designs, or do you not like the design? So, you guys let me know. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.